Alright, how we doing today? Man, these streets are cold, y'all. Alright. And I really don't want to get into conspiracies, but man, it's a cold game out here, man. You could be at the wrong place at the wrong time. Alright. You could be maybe an innocent bystander of somebody that, let's just say if you're friends or whatever, with friends, and they could be after your friends, and you could be guilty by association. You could be mistaken by somebody, you could be mistaken with somebody else. How we doing today? I got 27 October. Actually, it's like 4:43. I'm in Nashville, and which is where my mom's home state is, and I'm going to get into that here in a minute because, man, it's a coincidental that this ordeal happened, and I'm out here in Tennessee. All right. So I want to talk about this young boy named Emmit Beasley. I think they call him like little Emmit or young Emmit or something. All right, little young rapper. Again, if I didn't say this happened in Memphis, which is actually about 3 hours down the road on Highway 40. So this young boy, and he had a 15-year-old cousin, was attending a funeral for a friend, and a young fella about his age, and this must have been happening after the funeral, where guys, they bring the casket out, and they was loading the casket into the hearse. Okay, this is unbelievable. Loading the casket into the hearse, and these guys went out, and basically shots broke out and hit Emmit Beasley and his cousin. Both of them ended up dropped. Okay, this is funny. This is very, very strange here, because for whatever reason they wanted to kill this dude. All right, I mean, these are young boys. The young boys doing this. Let me see here. From what his mother was saying, all right, and testimonies who were saying that he was basically a good, cool young man. All right, he went to school, had a little job, and I guess he was doing, he was rapping. All right, so he aspired to be, a rapper, and his life got cut short. Okay, now I'm not really going to get into all what happened, but I believe that these testimonies, all right, they telling the truth. All right. Again, I don't know if it's some jealousy or what happened, but man, it's just, all I can say is just an unfortunate thing, man. You know what I'm saying? It's one, man, you living in these cities, you gotta keep your head on a swivel. All right, you gotta pretty much have Magic Johnson vision. All right, that peripheral vision. All right, you gotta stay on the lookout at all times. Sometimes you have to be careful about the company that you keep. It's a combination of things. All right, the generation that we're in, and I know that that the newer generation with these young fellows or whatever, you guys probably didn't get the same guidance that I got, like a triple OG like me got, where I did have a father. But these cats out here ain't playing too. All right, and again, I'm not trying to talk down on this situation, but it was just a bad situation. Now, I want to say this back to my mother. My mom is from just outside of that area. She's from a town called Ripley, Tennessee. All right, which is about maybe a little over an hour north of Memphis. Okay, on the way to a town called Dyersburg. All right, so basically what they call the Four Corners, where all the four states, they meet up, kind of like in an area. It's Tennessee, Missouri, Kentucky, and Arkansas. All right, was real close to the Mississippi out there. All right, my grandfather, it was straight country. My grandfather did have land, and he was a farmer. He had land in Emmit, Tennessee. So in that area, you have Ripley. All right, that's supposed to be that guy Robert Ripley. All right, was supposed to be, he's some type of weird magician. All right, is related to those people allegedly. All right, and my grandfather had land out there near Henning. Actually, Henning is where Alex Haley is from. So you do have some talent out in that area. All right, Alex Haley, Tina Turner is not too far away from a town called Brownsville, Tennessee. All right, and legend has it Abraham Lincoln's great grandmother is supposed to be somewhere near that area. Okay, near where Henning is. All right, somewhere near there. His great grandmother, legend has it, supposed to have been a black woman. Okay, black woman slave. All right, so it's basically kind of country out that area, farming. But I have a couple of cousins, although many of my family now, they live, migrated to Nashville. All right, I just spoke to a cousin probably about 8 months ago, and man, it's so bad out there in that area with those gangs in Memphis. They've trickled all the way up there where he lives or whatever. All right, in Ripley. All right, because the competition out there, I guess the gang competition was too tough, so they moved all the way up there, up to Ripley. All right, hard-working people. Now, from what I understand, that they've had like Labor Day, used to have Labor Day parades, and they've had fights and shootings out there. It's really, really not safe, especially you out there after a certain time. All right, so they got to where that they had to quit. They had to cut that fare off at a certain time. All right, I used to go there as a kid when we used to go on family trips to go see, my mother's side of the family. But it's rough out there in Memphis, though. All right, Memphis is pretty much like a little Chicago, in scale of Memphis and Chicago. All right, that from what I understand, there's already been a couple of hundred shootings out there. All right, probably has to do with gangs or drugs in Memphis. All right, that place is a pretty dying city. The industry is pretty much dead, and it's gotten to where I believe that a lot of people have moved up to the outskirts, like the cities I've even heard before, like Cordova and some other towns around Tennessee, because probably they don't want to drive through those neighborhoods, to be honest with you. That's for the reason why they built a couple of beltways out there by the airport towards Mississippi. So it's really, really bad out there, like I say, you gotta watch your back. I mean, I don't know what to say, but man, you may have to get to a point where, you may have to have some type of protection nearby, though, folks. All right, if you got to, arm yourself. All right, now, God forbidden for me to say this, but I believe this with this all this looting and rioting and stuff. And I said this on a past video, that people are on guard and they're not playing. I did that on a video about some guys in Vallejo who tried to rob a guy, turned out to be an ex-cop. All I can say is rest in peace to these boys, because a lot of these incidents are happening with teenagers, 13 years old, 12 years old, murking people, whatever. All right, straight murking people. It would be a rare thing that maybe back in the day, and I'm not saying this didn't happen back then, but that was almost rare, almost never. And now I'm seeing a lot more of it. All right. Basically, a lot of these kids don't have no guidance. And hopefully I pray that there's a way that this could be placated. All right, that these young boys or whatever, they do need father figures. We do need to, I think, as communities and so forth, maybe pull together and show these young people how to do things, to get the communities back to where they need to be, And even if you do stuff like this, some of you older folks, like what I'm doing right now, to try to reach out to one or two, all right? But rest in peace to young Emmit, and my regrets go out to his family. And hopefully this video is a cautionary tale, stimulate thought. All right, y'all, I'm out. Stay tuned for the next video. If you like the video, subscribe, share, leave your comments. Let me know what you think. All right, peace.